Oh, wait. Sorry. When
It sounds like a word. Price what? Loss?
price gouging laws. So price gouging laws are intended to protect consumers. You're not allowed to charge a higher price. So this is an example. Hurricane Sandy. This came in New York, New Jersey area a few years ago. There was a price gouge on gas. Someone got arrested for charging $10 per gallon. Is it good or bad? So there was Hurricane Sandy, and like it was like New York, New Jersey area was terrible. Like the transport, obviously these gas stations were not getting the gas deliveries. So the gas was not delivered to the gas stations. There was a shortage of gas, like a big time, and people wanted to buy gas, obviously, because everybody drives a car. So there was one gas station. He started charging $10 per gallon, and it was on the news and everything, and he got arrested for it. The city said you could not charge that high of a price. But is that a good thing or a bad thing? So some gas stations were just shutting down. He was open. He had a little bit of gas left in his tank. He thought, you know what? I have a little bit left. I'll charge a higher price. And those people, and there will be some people who will be desperate for gas, and they will be willing to pay $10 per gallon. So, did he do a right thing or wrong thing? He did a right thing, because he had limited amount of gas left. He could have, if he sold it at a regular price of $3.20, his gas would just go away like that. Like he'd sell it all, and he'll be finished with gas. But by charging a higher price, he's only attracting customers who could pay that higher price, like who were really desperate for gas, first of all, and his gas would last longer. He could leave the station open, and transactions would still be happening. You know, you can. So we have a special situation. There's Sandy or hurricane, and if the seller of the gas thinks that because I'm not getting enough supply, and I think that $10 per gallon at this circumstances is okay, some people might buy it for $10 because of the special circumstances. But because the police arrested him and his gas station had to shut down, that few people who were willing to pay the $10 for the gas, they couldn't buy it. It wasn't available. So what's better? Happening of a market transaction or not happening of a market transaction?
happening on market transaction.
happening over market transaction, right? Some people would have paid $10 for that gas. And in those special circumstances, he shouldn't have been arrested. So, it's always, I mean, at a normal time, he wouldn't be able to charge $10 per gallon. Why? Because there are 10 gas stations on every street, and if he charges $10 per gallon, nobody's gonna go to his gas station to buy that gas. Because there are 8 others. There's competition on every street. There's so many gas stations, right? So on a regular, normal circumstance, people are not able to charge ridiculous prices because there's always competition. If you're gonna charge $10 for a gas, people are gonna go next door and buy it from someone else. So naturally, the regular price is at $3.20. That's what the area or the neighborhood or all the gas stations have decided, and people buy gases. Yeah.
Are there going to be questions like this on the test?
Yeah.
And are we going to have to like judge it from a ethical standpoint or like a
business standpoint, not ethical. So it is good. So the price, someone got arrested, so this was bad. Because some people might have paid, $10 for the gas.
Question?
Yeah.
I'm kind of confused because you just said earlier that it was good. Now you're saying it's bad.
No, he got arrested, so that's bad.
Okay, so
Like-
It was a good decision, but it was bad that he got arrested.
No, so there was a price gouge in the city of New York. He got arrested because he was charging $10 per gallon. The fact that he got arrested, that was bad. He shouldn't have gotten arrested. His gas station shut down. They shut it down. That was a bad thing because if he's selling for $10 per gallon, there might be buyers at that desperate times to buy it for that price.
So how did they arrest him, did they say?
What?
How did they arrest him?
How did they?
What was the reason for his getting arrested?
There was a price gouge, like at that time. So in the city, like you couldn't sell for more than $5 or something like that.
Anyone substitutes? Generators of gas.
What does it say? There was Hurricane Sandy. There was a price gouge on gas. Someone got arrested for charging $10 per gallon. Is it good or bad? This was bad. Some people might have paid $10 for a gas. Yeah. So his gas station closed down. I'm sorry. What is wrong here?
We are confusion.
Okay. About what?
Is it the question is good
His
or
gas
bad?
station shut
And
down.
business point of view, or ethical point of view.
What? Sorry. No, it's okay. What was the question?
Which way we are to follow? But we are copying.
Okay. So
Yeah.
we are confused. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
So there was Hurricane Sandy, and the city of New York said, you cannot charge. Everybody was charging very high prices because gas stations were not getting the delivery for gas. Okay, they were not.
The scenario is we are just studying price ceiling is natural. Price ceiling is not very good. We are to expect price ceiling is not very good. We have to. The government should do hands off.
Yeah, price ceiling is not good, and government should let the market price do the invisible hand its own work.
Yeah.
Right.
Now in this scenario change to the special weather and sunny hurricane.
This was a special circumstance. Yeah.
Special circumstance.
So in any regular circumstances, he wouldn't be able to charge $10 a gallon. Why? Because there are 10 gas stations out there. Nobody's gonna buy it for $10. But that was a special circumstance. Gas was not available. There were stations that had a shutdown sign that we don't have gas.
So that was good.
There were stations that were closed, but his station had some gas left. So what he did was, since the demand was so high, he increased the price.
That is a good.
So when the demand is like really high, if the demand is like here, your quantity demand is really high, and price was, let's say, here, he increased the price, so,
Yeah,
So his supply
nat-
could meet the demand. He,
yeah,
he increased the
naturally
price.
the price will go as naturally.
Yeah, so he increased it thinking that, I have just a little bit of gas left. My supply is low, so I'm going to charge a higher price. When his supply was low, he decided to charge a higher price. And somebody might have paid that higher price. But he wasn't able to do that because he got arrested.
Okay,
Yeah.
so on the test,
That's kind of
you need to clarify, like, was it good or bad on the government's end or on the seller's end? Because, you're saying it was good for the person who was selling, but it was bad on the government's end. That's
Yeah.
where the confusion would come in.
It's good for the market, it's good for the seller because he'll be able to sell, and it's good for the buyer. There were buyers who were desperate at that time for gas, so it was good for the market, good for seller, good for buyer. But it was bad of the government to step in and say that, you know what, no, we're shutting down your gas, that's ridiculous, you cannot charge.
So it wasn't a good idea to put that price ceiling.
It wasn't a good idea.
Because if the price ceiling was 5, I would sell it for 10, like you're obviously not gonna arrest me.
The question
No,
is,
it's not. Why would you put a price ceiling? Because, okay, it depends on supply. If your supply is very low, if there is a supplier who has very little bit left, and there are like 100 people outside waiting to buy the few items that you have, you can charge more, and there will be some desperate people who will step out. So let's say that I have 2 cameras, and there are 200 people outside waiting to buy those 2 cameras. Now, it's up to me, like, since the demand is so high, I can charge a higher price, and from the 200 people, the most desperate or the most who are willing to buy will step up and buy the gas and buy the camera from me. You see, so the market transaction, instead of government saying, no, you cannot sell the camera for like that high price, then nobody is better off. You see, when market transaction happens, everybody is better off.
I think we understand what you're saying. The confusion is, how do you want us to answer the question? You said, is this good or bad? You want us to say, this was bad because he got arrested, or this was good, a good market decision. If this was a test question and you said, is this good or bad, what would be the wrong answer?
So someone got arrested from charging $10. Was this good or bad? Well, this was bad because some people might have paid $10 for. So this was bad because his gas station shut down. Because his gas station was shut down, and some people who were willing to pay $10 per gallon were not able to buy it.
Question.
Yeah.
So if he did make a transaction and someone actually did pay for it, would you answer that it's a good thing?
Yeah. If he was not arrested and if the gas station was open, and I'm sure that at that desperate time there would be people who would be willing to pay it for $10, then that's good. A market transaction actually happened.
But no, like what I'm trying to ask is like, for this question, if you changed it a bit and said that there was a transaction, would we answer that it's a good, that it's good?
I don't understand why you guys.
This arresting was
Because
bad, no?
well, from what I understand from what you said, as long as there's a transaction that happened, then it's good no matter what.
So the government should not step in and like say, no, you have to shut down your store, this is too high, or there's a price ceiling or whatever. So, yeah. What are you confused about?
Everything, like,
Don't worry about good and bad. Just like, let's say that there's a price ceiling of $5, and that's why, so there's a price ceiling of $5. and the guy was selling it for $10 per gallon because his supply was really low and there was a hurricane and whatever. He got arrested for it.
Okay.
So the government said that we have, that's ridiculous. You cannot sell for more than $5 a gallon.
Okay, I get it.
That's a bad thing. Because there are people at that desperate times who would have paid $10 to buy the gas.
So are you saying that there shouldn't have been a price ceiling? Or they should-
There shouldn't have been a price ceiling. Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
There shouldn't be a price ceiling. Because in normal times, they're gonna charge a normal price at $3.20. Like I said, there's always competition, right? There are always 10 gas stations. He wouldn't be able to charge this price at a regular time. This is where the invisible hand comes into play. That market itself decides a good price. Because there's competition on the street, there are 10 other stations. So if you're gonna sell at a regular time and there's no hurricane, if he charges that price, nobody's gonna buy it. But because it was special circumstance, there was no need for government to come in and say, oh, you know what, there's a price ceiling, we're running low on gas. There was no need for that. You should have, because there was a special circumstance and supply was low, that's why he did that. That's why he put a $10 per gallon price. And he shouldn't have been arrested for that. Does that make sense?
Yes. I'm gonna fail this test.
So, if you study, you'll be fine.
I'm studying and I see words, if they just don't make sense. Like,
Okay, it takes a little bit of time to absorb, alright? So, it's good that you're paying attention in class and you're asking questions, but when you go home, are you studying at home too?
I'm gonna need at least 2 weeks for this.
What?
I'm gonna need at least 2 weeks to actually know
Okay.
what's happening.
Okay, we'll do more examples and there'll be practice problems for you to do. Okay, one more example.